Welcome to the press conference, the 87th press conference organized by Information Office of Hubei Provincial People's Government. We'll brief you on the progress on construction of Hubei Free Trade Pilot Zone. With us today, we have Deputy Director of Hubei Commerce Department, Mr. Chen Huarong, Inspector from the Management Committee of East Lake High-Tech Development Zone and Wuhan Free Trade Zone, Madam Sun Qianwen, and Deputy Director of Management Committee of Xiangyang Free Trade Zone, Mr. Kong Lingbo, Deputy Director of Management Committee of Yichang Free Trade Zone, Mr. Wu Hao, and Deputy Director of Hubei CDC, Mr. Li Yang. First, let's give the floor to Mr. Li Yang on the latest update of the epidemic in Hubei Province. As of April the 27th, 2020, total number of confirmed cases reported in Hubei stand at 68,128, 50,333 in Wuhan City, 17,795 in other cities and prefectures. As of midnight of April the 27th, number of new confirmed cases, 0. No imported cases reported in Hubei Province. The province has registered no new confirmed cases for 24 days, except for Wuhan. Other cities in Hubei Province reported no new confirmed cases for 54 days. As of April the 27th, 0 cases are confirmed in the city, 0 suspected cases. Total deaths stood at 4,512, 63,616 people cured and discharged from the hospital. On April the 27th, newly added asymptomatic cases, 27, none developed into confirmed cases, 10 removed from quarantine. 599 asymptomatic patients are still under medical observation. Now let's give the floor to Mr. Chen Huarong to brief us on the construction of Hubei Free Trade Pilot Zone. Thank you. Friends from the media, good afternoon. Thank you to attend the 3-year anniversary of the press conference for the Free Trade Zone. Since the initiation of the Hubei Free Trade Pilot Zone, we have earnestly implemented the important instructions made by General Secretary Xi Jinping on the construction of the Free Trade Zone. With the strong leadership of the provincial government and the Commerce Department, we have made a lot of efforts to develop the Hubei Free Trade Pilot Zone. So we are aiming to develop our Free Trade Pilot Zone into a high-tech Free Trade Pilot Zone. And important progress have been made in the construction of the Hubei Free Trade Zone. First, we have implemented the task for reform and opening up. So the achievement rate for the 170 key missions are fully implemented. According to the report released by MOFCOM in 2019, the 38 differentiated tasks assigned to Hubei Free Trade Pilot Zone has been successfully accomplished. According to the measures released by the MOFCOM for the 39 reform missions, we have accomplished 82% of those projects. And also, we have making a lot of innovations in terms of the systems. We're benchmarking the Tier 1 standards from the international countries, and also we have formed 17 achievements which have been replicated in other free trade zones in China. Among the 132 achievements we have approved by the Hubei provincial government and have been implemented and used in other cities in Hubei province. We are also doing a lot of hard work in facilitating the reform of the free trade within the Hubei Province. What we are doing has been fully acknowledged by the State Council as well. We are also taking a lot of efforts to work on the electronic reform for the free trade pilot zone. For example, we are encouraging the tax refund from the e-commerce platform. And we are also establishing ourselves as a role model in rolling out the electronic platform. According to the innovation report published by the State Council, the Wuhan Free Trade Zone also ranking one of the top among other cities in China. And for Xiangyang and Yichang, they also achieve good performance in the policy innovation. Third, we have keep improving our business environment. First, we continue to explore new models, and we are delegating powers as approved by the government to 3 free trade zone areas. We are also delegating 3 authorities to these areas. Start from 2019, we are also rolling out a measure to separating the permits and the license. We're rolling out an all-rounded reform to all of those pilot zones. And we are keep improving the government supervision. In terms of the market access, we are also rolling out an innovative mechanism to manage all of those entities. We are rolling out tax reforms as well. For 80 people who are running against our regulations, we will help accountable, and also we will offer some room for improvement for people who are paying the tax. And also we are working on equity transfer mechanism. At the same time, we are issuing internet services to different stakeholders. A lot of convenient services has been rolling out to benefit our people and different enterprises. At the same time, we are also publish the regulation to regulate the Hubei Free Trade Pilot Zone. And also, we are rolling out 60 measures to regulate the local free trade zone. Fourth, we are also leading other cities in the areas of high-tech development. Among 12 high-tech development zones, in the Hubei Free Trade Pilot Zones, we are also granting patents to different enterprises. And also for the revenue gained by the high-tech companies, Hubei ranked number 2 across China. And in last year, we have added over 70,000 patents. And also we are adding over 2,500 high-tech enterprises in the free trade zone in Hubei Province. We are giving a lot of support to attract talents. We are establishing overseas talent recruiting sites. And also we are offered visa support to some of the overseas talents. And in the free trade pilot zone, we have over 66 academicians who are based in these areas, over thousands of talents around the country. And second, we are doing a lot of innovation in the financing. We are publishing guidelines on the management of the FT account. We are also focusing on the exchange services for the RMB, and also we are rolling out a lot of contingency plans to support the exchange. And also we are focusing on the development of the fintech. We are one of the first to establish a fintech centered in the free trade pilot zone in Hubei Province. We are guiding the financial institutions to support loans in an innovative manner. Third, we are doing what we can to protect the intellectual property rights. We are setting up the IPR mechanism and to make full use of the financing. Currently, the pledge financing in the Hubei pilot zone accounts for 80% of the province. We have also setting up around 18 service stations in the free trade zone. And also we are establishing a public service platform for the intellectual property rights. Fifth, we are working to establish a cluster industry center. We are establishing the optics centered in the free trade pilot zone. At the same time, we are also introducing a number of leading companies from overseas to stations in the free trade pilot zone. So also we are deploying a full range of the industrial chain in the pilot zone. For the Wuhan Free Trade Zone, it has over 2,000 biofirms, and the revenue has been increased 30% year over year. Going forward, we'll focus on the development of the new energy and automobiles so that we can provide a comprehensive supply chain to the new energy vehicles so that we can boost the development of the new energy vehicle. And also we are setting up a supervision center to monitor the qualities of all of the products. And a series of key facilities has been established in the free trade zone, including a series of laboratories. Also, a series of high-tech pharmaceutical enterprises are also selected to based in the Hubei Free Trade Pilot Zone. And for the bonded areas, we are also setting up a maintenance platform and to give innovation to different forms of business. As of February this year, we have 47,232 enterprises based in the Hubei Free Trade Pilot Zone, which has been increased by 2 times compared to previous year. And 94% of these enterprises remain active in their business. And also we have seen a big increase of number of foreign invested enterprises in the free trade zone. And the actual use of the foreign invested funds has also increased dramatically. And the import and export volume of the enterprises brought from the Hubei Free Trade Pilot Zone also accounts for 20% of the import and export volume of Hubei Province in general. Currently, we are still followed the instructions from the provincial government and do what we can to resume the business in an orderly manner. And the key enterprises and enterprises above the designated size in the Hubei Free Trade Pilot Zone, the resumption rate has reached 100%. And in the future, we will continue to focus on the industrial innovation and technological innovation. We have to do the following. First, we have to continue to facilitate the reform innovation. We will continue to deepen our reform in the free trade pilot zone, and we will give more autonomy to the free trade zone for the reform. We will delegate more powers to the municipal free trade zone, and also adding more centers to making sure that the separation of the permits and license can be implemented. We also will encourage an incentive mechanism. Second, we will continue to improve the reform in different free trade pilot zones. We will study on the full chain innovation for the new energy vehicles, and also we'll work on the cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and other types of new business. We will continue to explore different opportunities. And we will do what we can to attract talents, to bring more vitality to the development of the free trade pilot zone. We will also explore opportunities to consolidate the synergy between different parties. We will keep improving the business environment, attract more investments from overseas. We will also work closely with high-tech development zones from different cities of the province. Fifth, we will develop a cluster industry. We will follow the measures published by the provincial government and to focus on the key projects involving the industry development. For example, in terms of the financing and human resources, we have to coordinate all of these efforts to establish a modernized open economy and industrial chain so that we can build a highland for development and reform for the Hubei Free Trade Zone. Now is the Q&A session. Please identify who you are before you raise the question.
我们想了解一下，武汉作为本次疫情受影响最大的地区，而湖北自贸区武汉片区作为全市市场主体最活跃的地方，疫后经济恢复显得格外重要。那么我们想了解一下，请问片区在组织企业抗击疫情、复工复产方面采取了哪些举措，来帮助企业渡过难关？
So can you tell us what measures are taken by the provincial government to facilitate the business resumption in the free trade zone in Wuhan? Ms. Sun? As of now, the Wuhan Free Trade Zone have done a lot of work to provide support to the enterprises. We have rolled out 44 measures to support these enterprises. For example, we will provide more support in stabilizing employment and provide more services to these enterprises. Second, we will keep improving the business environment and deepen the reform of the political system. And we are making sure that over 300 businesses can be handled online. And right now, a lot of internet platform has been rolled out to facilitate the business resumption of those enterprises. Now we have already created over 16,000 jobs to attract more talents. We are also establishing the first anti-epidemic fund to support the enterprises, especially for enterprises affected by the COVID-19. We're also working collaboratively with the banks to offer more loans and support to the enterprises. We're also issuing a document on support of the enterprises in Wuhan city. So all of these measures can help the enterprises tide over the difficulties. With all of those efforts, we are confident that the Wuhan Free Trade Zone can recover as normal. So as of yesterday, 2 weeks after the lift of the travel restrictions in Wuhan, over 15,000 key enterprises in the Wuhan Free Trade Zone have gone back to their work. Going forward, we will follow the following several measures. First, we will continue to improve our business environment so that we can create a convenient and international business environment. And we will continue to strengthen our financing support to the SMEs. We will also increase the efficiency of the transportation so that we could lower the cost of the enterprises. And we will do what we can to help the upgrade of the industrial chain of different enterprises stationed in the Free Trade Zone of Wuhan. We're also focusing on the remote office and the artificial intelligence, and a series of new models and new forms has been rolled out in the Free Trade Zone. We're also participating in the Belt and Road Initiative. At this time, we are strengthening our coordination and collaboration with cities in other countries. We're attracting more enterprises to stations in the Wuhan Free Trade Zone. We are making use of all the resources available in China and overseas so that we can continue to consolidate efforts we have been made in the past few months. Thank you. Next question, please. The Hubei Free Trade Pilot Zone has established for 3 years. So right now, the Xiangyang Free Trade Zone has already upgraded into version 2.0 in terms of the development. Can you tell us more about the achievements made by the Xiangyang FTZ? In the past few years, we have made a lot of achievements, especially in the area of innovation. So for the establishment of the enterprises, the business startup date can be shortened to within 1 day. And also the approval time of the enterprises has been reduced to 15 days. And also we have over 30 achievements that has been replicated in different cities of Hubei Province. For Xiangyang FTZ, we're also doing a lot of good job in the change of the function of the government as well as the change of the free trade areas. We're also establishing over 5,300 new enterprises in the Free Trade Zone. And also, we are owning over 200 patents. And some of our key technologies are actually ranking among the top across China. And also, we are having the national authorized new energy vehicle testing center. And we will continue our efforts to boost the opening up. And many well-known enterprises, they also choose to station in Xiangyang Free Trade Pilot Zone. Going forward, we will continue to focus on the institutional and the technological innovation. First, we will continue to improve the business environment. In terms of the business access, we'll roll out a more innovative registration mechanism and making sure that we could separate the license and the business permit. And also, we will improve the project approval timeline. Second, we will further the industrial innovation, especially targeting on key enterprises. We will solicit all the feedback from the enterprises, and hopefully we can get more support from the provincial free trade pilot zone. And we will make good use of the authorities that has been delegated at the provincial level to further develop our free trade zone. And we will also provide stronger financing support to develop more products that suit the SMEs. So we are aiming to establish the financing system that have low threshold and can benefit different types of enterprises who are stationed in the free trade zone. We are also working to bring more cutting-edge technologies inside of the free trade zone in Xiangyang, and that's what I have to say. Thank you.
你好，香港大公文汇传媒集团记者提问，请介绍一下宜昌自贸片区3年来在改革创新等方面的主要经验做法。在本次的新冠疫情期间，宜昌片区推出了哪些改革创新的举措来支持企业复工复产战胜疫情？
What measures has been taken by the Yichang Free Trade Zone Management Committee to facilitate the business resumption? Thank you. In the past 3 years, the Yichang Free Trade Zone has focused on autonomous innovation. We have gained over 200 achievements. So among the 200 achievements, 8 are replicated at national level, and over 30 achievements has been replicated in other cities of Hubei Province. So for example, we are focusing on the talent recruitment, environmental protection, and all of these achievements can meet the demand of the enterprises. Especially in 2019, we have seen a breakthrough in the autonomous innovation, especially for the tax reform. This has been also included into the national program in China. And some of the tax reforms have also fully acknowledged and recommended by the State Council. For our achievements made in the past 3 years, we are front runners in terms of the quantity as well as the quality of our projects. At the same time, we are moving along with the construction of the key projects. For example, with 2 years of construction. In January this year, the bonded warehouse construction has been approved by the State Council. And right now, it is also one of the first batch of the centralized bonded warehouses in Hubei Province. Now we are still working on 15 other projects in the Yichang Free Trade Zone. We have already opened up the cross-border e-commerce park with over 30 enterprises stationed in the park. It is estimated that by the end of 2020, we will have over 100 enterprises stationed in the free trade zone with revenue of over 10 billion yuan, and we are aiming to build ourselves into one of the leading free trade zones in terms of the e-commerce transaction. And during the epidemic, we are encouraging a lot of enterprises to change their line of production so that they can make more anti-epidemic materials and products. We are guiding these enterprises to strengthen their standards for the production and making sure that the protective suits, as well as the facial mask, can be produced abundantly. Right now, these experiences has been replicated in other cities and regions among the province. And right now, many companies have already obtained qualifications to produce PPEs and the protective suits. They have produced over 25,000 protective suits and over 100,000 goggles. With the support of the provincial government, we are also rolling out the online financing service hall. So during the epidemic, we are giving full use of the big data. And we are also offering loans with 6.5 billion yuan to over 13,000 business. That is to say, we are providing a lot of support to the SMEs. Thank you. One last question.
您好，我是中国新闻社记者。湖北自贸试验区定位的最大
China
特点
News
是产业。
Service.
请问湖北自贸试验区
So
下一步
industry
如
is
何
one
发
of
挥
the
制度
key
创新和科技
areas
创
for
新
the
的优
development
势，
of
进一
the
步推动产业
Hubei
创新
Free
发展。
Trade
谢
Pilot
谢。
Zone. Can you tell us what measures will be taken by the Free Trade Pilot Zone so that we can further up our innovation? So with the establishment of the Hubei Free Trade Pilot Zone, over the past 3 years, we have been fully followed through the instructions from the central government. And we are aiming to develop ourselves into a high-tech development zone. We are focused on the industrial development as well as the innovation. Many important progress have been made in the past 3 years. Going forward, we will continue to focus on the technological innovation and institutional innovation so that we can bring more enterprises into the Hubei Free Trade Pilot Zone. And we will accelerate to build an open economy in our Free Trade Pilot Zone. So first, we will focus on the policies and give more room for the development of the enterprises. We will carefully study the instructions and the guidelines made by the State Council, and we will learn from the Lingang New Areas Port from Shanghai, and also we will learn the experiences from other free trade pilot zones. By understanding the actual situation of the Hubei Free Trade Pilot Zone, we will issue the series of measures to facilitate the development. We will formulate guidelines to support the development of biomedicines, new energy vehicles, so that we can provide strong support to the development of all of these sectors. And we will also focus on the reform, and we will develop and explore new methods and new models to develop all of these sectors. Second, we are making sure that all of the measures can be implemented. And we will carefully study the negative list published by MOFCON and a series of measures published by the State Council. And also we will learn from the suggestions made by the provincial government on attracting talents. We will have the science-tech innovation to drive the industrial innovation. Third, we'll focus on attraction of the investment. We will organize a series of events so that we can attract more overseas companies to work with the Hubei Free Trade Pilot Zones. We also establish a series of platforms so that we can learn from each other during the communication. And also we will organize a series of tours so that we can bring more investment back to Hubei Free Trade Pilot Zone. Start from tomorrow, we will start to attract investment online. And we will also publish a series of projects. We'll invite some well-known enterprises and Fortune 500 enterprises to participate in this series so that some of the key projects can be implemented. Fourth, we will focus on the business environment to facilitate the industrial innovation. We will also establish an incentive mechanism to give more encouragement to the SMEs and the enterprises who failed their business in the Free Trade Pilot Zone. We're aiming to build a first-class business environment so that we can attract more enterprises to based in Free Trade Pilot Zone. Fifth, we will focus on the platform. We will collaborate with different free trade areas, including the East Lake High-Tech Development Zones, the Xiangyang Free Trade Zones, and Yichang Free Trade Zones, so that we can further develop our cross-border e-commerce business. And we will keep developing new models and new business forms. We will establish industrial park for international collaboration and will bring more high-quality projects into the Hubei Free Trade Pilot Zone. Thank you. Thank you for your question.